He's left office with an approval rating of 60%, stocks near record highs and more than 6 years of job creation. But it's certainly not all been his way, as Arabella Munro reports.
Washington, 2009. As he took up the role, Obama's most pressing issue was the financial crisis.
Starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
What started as a banking crisis had morphed into a global economic one. The country was losing 700,000 jobs a month, and hundreds of thousands of people were forced out of their homes. Trillions of dollars have been spent on propping up the banks during his tenure, and new regulations passed to stop it happening again. Obama's $832 billion stimulus package was sold as a way to get and keep unemployment below 8%. While it fell short of many of its goals, that money created or saved an average of 1.6 million jobs a year for 4 years, and raised the country's economic output between 2 and 3% from 2009 to 2011.
I think the greatest achievement of President Obama was to get us out of the really deep hole he inherited in the Great Recession, and trying to assure that never happens again by getting Dodd-Frank bank reform.
But as the economy recovered, inequality started to grow. Average household income is down by $4,000 from when Bill Clinton left office. And for blue-collar workers and rural communities, there are far fewer job options.
Look at this place. You come out of school now, where do these kids go? They have no jobs.
In 2010, the Democrats lost control of Congress. 4 years later, the Republicans took the Senate too. Many of Obama's stimulus proposals were blocked. Budget cuts slowed economic growth, which only recently started to pick up. Obama's signature legislation has also impacted the US's recovery. The Affordable Care Act. The number of people without health insurance has hit record lows. But with premiums soaring, Obamacare is a deeply divisive issue, and some critics say it encourages employers to hire part rather than full-time workers. Globally, Obama's economic legacy is under threat. Looking east, he pushed hard for the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal, partly as a way to limit China's power in the region. With 12 nations, including Japan, and accounting for a third of the world's trade, it was the biggest deal in a decade.
The TPP would be meaningless without the United States.
And the US's new president, Donald Trump, says he'll scrap it, along with Obamacare.
Yes, we did. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Obama's presidency has been defined by the financial crisis. He has left the economy in far better shape than when he inherited it. But for many of America's poor, it hasn't been enough. And now it's Donald Trump's turn. Arabella Munro, TRT World.
And Craig Kapitas joins us once again from Paris. Craig, I just want to show the viewers a quick bar chart that does tell a very good story for President Obama. 75 months, non-farm payrolls went up, job growth. That's the longest stretch of job growth in a very long time. But I understand, Craig, you have all the downsides that we haven't looked at yet, including debt.
Well, you're looking at debt. It's up to $20 trillion, $9.3 trillion of it on Obama's watch.
Right.
Global trade deficit last year, $732 billion. I can go down a long list here. Labor force, 95 million Americans are out of the labor force. However, Arabella touched on a really good thing in her story. Obama did save the economy from the woeful nature that happened during the Bush years. There's no question about it. The problem is, because everything is politics, Matt, he did not go far enough. And where he failed to go far enough was he didn't use the power of the pen that he always talked about, you know, the power of the pen, to stop the banks from foreclosing on the millions of people who had bought into toxic mortgages.
Fair enough.
Had he done that, she would have won. How would you feel if someone came in and took your home only because you were forced to sign a toxic, felonious mortgage that people look to go to jail for selling you in the first place.
A pretty unfair
Obama
prospect.
wouldn't do that.
OK. Craig Kapidas in Paris. Thank you.